Good evening, you guys. Not very often do I say good evening. It's always good morning. The odd good afternoon. But anyways, so we finished the lentils today. We had to drop it all the straw just due to, as obviously you guys know, I was getting a little bit frustrated there last night. Of course, you got to remember, we're running next to no sleep and have been for like a month and a half now of harvest. And it will start wearing on you after a while. And that goes for anybody, really. But anyway, we got our brand new pickup head on. It is a Macdon pickup header. I do believe it's 16 feet wide, something like that. Maybe it's 15 feet, maybe it's 15. I don't know, something like that. And we're picking up the swaths that we dropped with that John Deere W170, aka a Macdon swather. So it's been going pretty good. Ooh, a little grumbly. It's almost a little bit green. That's our neighbor over there, combining. He's got a 9600 John Deere, I do believe. He's old school, but man, those 9600 combines, we had those too. The first thing I notice is my steering wheel's in the way. How am I supposed to see anything with this steering wheel? How do I see anything? I don't like that at all. Normally I'm always looking out here or looking out here. Now I'm looking here and this is what I see. That's annoying. And then when you put your hand there, then you really can't see. This is seriously what I see. So apparently I can see where the joystick control on the Fendt Ideal combines would be handy for picking up swaths. But they do have a pretty big steering wheel. Like John Deere has a little smaller one. But still. So I gotta lean forward so I can look over my steering wheel. Yes, you can sink this down. But yes, you can tilt this thing all up and around. But it doesn't matter what you do, your steering wheel is in the way. So I do find that annoying. You gotta remember, guys, I don't pick up swaths. The last time I picked up a swath was probably 2010, something like that. So quite a few years ago. So we lean forward, lean back. You can try and see between our steering wheel here, but so that is most annoying so far. Don't worry, I won't do it to you guys. You guys can see. Now, you guys know that I'm a swathing noob and also a pickup noob, so I'm probably doing everything wrong that I could be doing. So bear with me. I've already stuck my pickup a couple times in some tall straw that the swather maybe went through a little too fast. Apparently that's a thing. See where it gets thin like that? And it can almost, whoa, sorry about that. It can almost fall between the rows. That was always my concern, because this is 12-inch spacing drill rows. And if it falls between those rows, then it's really hard to pick up. But so far, it's been going good. Obviously, the bigger the swath, the easier it is to pick it up. Ashtyn is over there. She is in the grain cart. Some weeds. So Mike, why did you do this? And you know, that's a really good question. Because of all these weeds and these low spots, it was just hanging green and hanging green and hanging green, and we kept getting a shower every 2 days and it was hanging green and hanging green. And I don't have a dryer and I don't have bins with fans, like air that I can move air through to dry anything. So I was really stuck between a hard spot. So I was like, you know what? Just swat that freaking stuff down So that way it would die. You can either die of old age and natural causes, which will take you a long time, or you can chop your head off and it's going to be instant. So that's what we did. We chopped them off. And so by doing so, it just, you know, it probably takes, I don't know, depends how ripe your crop is, I guess, when you do it, but it can take anywhere between a few days to a week or a couple weeks, depending on how ripe your crop is and everything. So anyway, it's been about a week, maybe not even. It might be a little bit still on the tough side, especially in the swaths where they're thick and heavy. Downside to swathing is when these big heavy swaths get wet from a rain, it takes them longer to dry out, versus if it was standing in the wind, it would dry pretty quick, wouldn't it? Hard to dry a big thick swath out. Other downside to swathing is when you lay it on the ground like that, you got to remember that the ground is wet, it's humid, and the grain that's all laying on the ground can start sprouting.
Just put your auger out, it should be able to swing out, swing under it.
Say what?
It said just put your auger out, it should be able to swing underneath it here in this open spot.
It's a slough to my left.
Well, put your auger on the other side.
Oh, you mean the swath right beside you? Because I'm really confused. I have no idea what she's talking about. But I love her all the same. And maybe she's tired, or maybe I'm just really tired and not understanding it anymore. But anyways, now I lost my train of thought what I was talking about here. Oh yeah, when you lay the crop down, it can sprout, right? Because that ground's warm and it's damp and it's wet. So there is pros and cons to swathing.
I forgot your auger was going the wrong way. That's why we swapped the other way.
Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. So that's new mistake, I guess, number one. Apparently you never want to go with your auger face into a slough, because if you get stuck and sink down, it's hard to get offloaded. Look it, guys, I'm a noob, okay? My bad, I'm a noob, okay?
I'm the one that swathed it. I swathed it wrong.
Oh yeah, this is on you. This is on I accept no responsibility. That's funny. Little hard to adjust when you don't have a 50-foot head out here to gauge your auger length.
We need to get one of these things to hang these walkie-talkie on in this camp.
Why, you don't want to hold it anymore, or what?
Keeps falling in all the cords. It's annoying.
Okay, I gotta get a little further away here. I'm a little too close. Little too close. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not a multitasker, apparently. I guess I also need to clean my window. Okay, I just gotta let you go. Alright, let's try this again. So, these tines that you see, I do believe they are to keep the crop. So as the angle of your pickup belts, I guess I'm gonna have to show you this during the day too. See that? Those are your pickup belts, and you can adjust that angle. Watch. You see the numbers off to the side? Okay, well, watch the pickup belt. So if I push it down, the belts flatten out. Okay? If I pick it up, then the belts obviously will become more of an angle. And then the tines, you can adjust those hydraulically. Like that. And that is basically to control crop flow, I do believe. Okay. Close them right off. Obviously that would not be too good. You would not get anything in your combine. And obviously some thick canola swabs, you have to be pretty thick, I guess. But anyways, I'm learning and it's fun. I enjoy doing different things, trying different stuff. So there is the little bit that I literally just picked up. No pun intended, actually. I make unintentional puns all the time. I get told that by my friends. Why would I need to adjust the belts? Good question. I do believe if it's on a little bit, hold on here. This sensor goes, never mind. Apparently it just decided to leave. But it comes and goes all the time, and it drives me mad. It's actually a mad sensor, and it drives me mad. It really is. So I think we may have a bit of a problem. I've been making too many videos again. Oh, see, tall straw will do that. It stopped my pickup belt. Just pick it up. There it goes. So I do believe you want to hang it a little bit higher in that taller straw so it doesn't pull your pickup belt. Probably is a sign that you're too low. Okay, shush. Sorry. Oh, it's doing it again. Mike, do you know what you're doing here? Absolutely not. But do I normally? Nope. You guys should know me by now. We always learn and go together. It is a pretty good sized swath, I'll give you that. You can't ever trust those combine monitors. Might say 164, but let's be honest with ourselves. It's probably more like 120, and it's in a low spot, and that's not the average. I'm not one of those guys that says, oh my goodness, my barley is going 164 now low spot. Let's be honest, it's probably doing 100. Field's probably going to average 50. I hope. It might not even average 50. Mike, how do you take your averages? Across anything that I seeded. If I seeded through a slough and it got drowned out, I still count that because I put inputs into that slough. And this crop still has to pay for those inputs. Make sense? So, yeah, if I seeded 130 acres, say, on a quarter, I will take however many bushels I got off, divided by 130 acres. Even if 27 acres got drowned out. Doesn't matter. My inputs went into it. I sprayed through the sloughs. Doesn't matter. That's how I roll. Some farmers, though, will take the 127 or whatever they combined. Or minus 27, whatever they combined. And it's all personal preference. There's no necessarily a right or a wrong way. Oh my. Okay. Mike, why don't you just disconnect the battery or restart it? I do that all the time and it makes no difference. A little growly out here tonight. Well guys, it's getting late. We should probably have shut down a little while ago. It's getting quite the straw. It's wet to the touch. And we plugged our feed accelerator. That's that beater in there, and you can't see it very well. It's kind of right in there. Evidently. I've never plugged my feed accelerator on the fence before. So you gotta basically just reach in here and dig it out. That's your rock trap, by the way. So I better get cracking at that. Yeah, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I always let you guys go, and I'm always digging. I know. It is what it is. This time it's my fault because I probably should have shut down earlier. Last night with the back end plug-in, that's the combine's fault. Adios, amigos. Good morning, guys. So I started digging that feed accelerator out there last night, and I was like, you know what? I'm Mike tired, and Mike no light under there, so Mike went home. So I came back out here feeling like $1 million here this morning. Nothing like getting itchy with barley dust right off the go. That's why I was trying to do it last night, but there was just no more steam in the engine. So came out here when you can actually see. Brought out Ashtyn's reciprocator saw. So anyways, this was pretty much all it was. I guess I gotta dig out a little bit more up in here. But yeah, you just start digging. You can pull about a little bit of straw out at the same time. Basically, about this much. That tells you it's actually not that bad of a plug. Of course, you know, you're trying to work from your ends in, but it's when you gotta get down to pliers, and it's all you can do to pull out this much. Then you know it's a bad plug. So feed accelerators, they do plug. They do plug on the John Deeres. We have plugged them on the John Deeres as well. Typically, feed accelerator plugging is due to a lot of material, sometimes wet. In this case, it was wet last night. And I was digging that out, so we're done. And make matters a little bit worse, of course, I went through some Canada thistle. And I really enjoyed plugging that, unplugging that. So on this side, so here's your feeder house. You have 2 speed settings. You got turtle, which is the slow speed, which is what we're in. This is the feeder house, okay? Not to be confused. And in fast, we just run them in slow all the time, to be quite honest with you. We haven't seen or had much issue for speed or fast. This little fancy little tool here helps you change it. Change your speeds. This is the slip clutch for this feeder house. As you can tell, that I've also plugged a bit of the feeder house last night. Yes, it does have a reverser, but the reverser is only as strong as your slip clutch. And it wasn't really that much of a wad. It was just all very much condensed, very, very wet straw, and that's all it takes. So over here is your feed accelerator, okay? And you see this little cast gigantic nut that they kind of manufactured on this sprocket. Well, it would be really handy if they made a tool that would go on there with like a 6-foot snipe on it, so that way you can jump on it. But that would be too easy to do. So, and if they do make that, we're not aware of it. So we made our own tool last year, and like I've never plugged my feeder house, feed accelerator, but other people have. So we made our own out of steel, cut it out, stuck it on there, welded. Comes all the way out to here, I think, because you want a lot of leverage on there. And you just start jumping on it. Maybe you get 2 people to jump on it, and that way you can twist it, right? And kind of you want to rotate it backwards to kind of spit it out. Well, guess what? Yep, I left that at home. I didn't think I would need it up here. That's 300 miles away. So then I guess you would need a very large pipe wrench, or one heck of a sprocket or a socket, which I don't have currently with me. Pipe wrench, yes, but socket, no. Pipe wrench only works as long as you have a really long snipe. So this is a jack handle out of my truck, out of a jack. also works as a makeshift snipe. Okay? Moral of the story is, we got it unplugged. I would rather not do that again, at least not for a while. And now we're gonna wait for it to dry down before we attack any more swaths. It's a beautiful morning this morning. Our goal is, it's very wet. Our goal is to finish these barley swaths today. We will be hauling it off the field to the terminal. And then, as you guys know, our lentils are done. And then we're gonna roll right into canola swaths, which is the last crop we have up here. We only had barley, lentils, and canola. Everyone back home is done. They finished last night. So we are done combining back home on the main farm. Well, with the exception of we have to chase some sloughs and some odds and ends. Every farmer has to do that. Every slough that you gotta go around, you gotta go back and chase them. But for the full field to field, we're done. All right, so we've now tidied things back up, put our panels on, closed it up, threw a little fuel in. Yes, I do have a fuel wagon, but I didn't need very much down here to finish these swaths, so we're good to go. I'll catch you guys on the flipper.